The Roaring Sea. In the Lost Iron Fortress, the ancient Iron Titan epic creature have surrounded some adventurer party. Everyone starts to panic because those monsters are immune to physical and magical attacks. They don't know how to deal with those monsters. But one guy in a robe is still calm and composed. The man in the robe then snaps his finger. Then a big magic circle appears above the monsters. The mage gets shocked to see such a huge magic circle for the first time in her life. Then gold coins starts to fall from the circle. The monsters drops their weapons and starts to catch the gold coins. Party members are confused thinking what is going on with those monsters. It turns out that the man in robe invested 5,000 gold to buy a record of those Titan monsters. And from that record, he found out that those monsters has an unstoppable passion for possession of the gold element. And as long as one have enough gold, one can distract them. This shocked the elf archer and is worried thinking what will happen when the gold coins run out. However, a yellow-haired lady informs everyone that the falling gold that they are seeing right now is just 1% of her lord's net worth. The man in the robe stops her from talking anymore because she is talking too much. He then removes his robe to deal with those monsters. And underneath that robe, there's an armor man with a shotgun. And the name of the gun is Demon Annihilator 13 Holy Energy Arcane Shotgun, a legendary level item. And it's worth 270 billion coins. The items or the armor that he is wearing are all over billion gold coins and are all legendary items. And this man, his name is Gaui, a hero from another world. And he is also known as Baron Gordon. Next, 2 years ago, a lady is carrying something very heavy and is sweating a lot. But after 7 years of traveling, she has finally come to the place where she can summon hero. And her name is Emma, one of the holy guide of the Order of Destiny. She then starts to search for something in her heavy bag, and takes out the fragment of the golden horn of the Angel of Mercy that she spent a year finding, and the dried tears of the dying dragon, which took her 2 years to find. And finally the most important item, which took her 3 years to find, a complete skull of selfless victim. She then puts all those items around the water fountain in a triangle shape, and starts to do her prayer to summon the hero. At the same time, in the earth, in a certain G Group headquarters building, a beautiful lady informs her chairman that they have destroyed many companies and merged it with theirs. And now the chairman's net worth is only second to Musk. But the chairman is very ambitious. He doesn't want to be second, he wants to be the number one. And he is the founder and chairman of the G Group. And his net worth is $437.7 billion. And seeing him working so hard for straight 4 months, the lady gets ready to give him some massage and relax his muscle tonight. However, her boss only loves money. He asks her if she has completed her job, and she hasn't finished her work yet. This angered Gaui because he is paying her annual salary of 3 millions, and here she is not doing her job and ready to give him a massage. He gives her some documents to finish. After she left the room, Gaui spreads his arms because he has become the second most richest man in the world, and now his only goal is to be the number one. The one and only most powerful and richest man in the world. Then he finds himself naked standing on a water fountain in the middle of a city, and his little elephants is hanging out without any covers. This was a nightmare for ladies and children, and for Gaui too. Emma comes to him saying she has finally completed in summoning the great hero. After knowing that she is the one who summoned him, he grabs her and runs towards some corner, then pushes her on the wall, and asks her what's going on there, and where is he. She tells him to put the clothes on first, but he doesn't give a crap about the clothes right now. He earns $300,000 per second, and time is very important to him. So he asks her to inform him about what's going on there in 5 seconds. But in 5 seconds, she doesn't think that she can inform him everything in 5 seconds. Gaui starts to count. She then informs him that he is the great hero from another world, and then there are still 4 other heroes who will be joining him in his journey to save the world. And also informs him about herself, and that she is the guide of the Destiny Order, who will guide him in his journey. And she is excited to go on this exciting road of bravery together with him. But he doesn't want to go in that journey. He has already built an empire of himself back in Earth. Why would he wants to go in that journey? And asks her to teleport him back immediately. But that's not how this summoning works. It's only one-way trip. She can't teleport him back. This new info sends a shiver down his spine. He climbs the tallest tower in that city and gets ready to jump down. Emma stops him from doing that. Then suddenly his stomach starts to make that gulu gulu sound. Emma then gets ready to give him something to eat, and takes out a steamed bun for him, saying he should never give up hope. That smile on her face reminded him of his little sister. This brings some old memories to him. He remembers that he also started from scratch, and gets ready to start from scratch again. He gets ready to eat that bun and asks her to give him some information about that world and the heroes while he is eating that bun. He bites the bun is so strong that it cracks his teeth. He asks her if she gave him a stone to eat, because buns are not supposed to be this hard. She gives him an example on how to eat that bun. He has to lick it soft with his saliva and then eat it. He asks her if she has anything other than that stone to eat, but she only has that bun, and it is also the only bun she has. She endured it for 5 days and couldn't bear to eat it. This surprises you that she endured just one broken bun for 5 days. And what's more surprising is, she hasn't eaten for 5 days. He asks her if she is that poor that she can't even afford food. She proudly informs him that she is poor. This makes you wonder if the religious group doesn't pay her anything, which confuses her, thinking why would they pay her? Well, that because she summoned a hero and he thought that the religious group supports her for her work, and also the new heroes she summoned. But that's not how it works. The only teaching of the Order of Destiny is to save the world, and it's not a job, but a sacred mission for thousands of people. He pushes her again on the wall. She summoned him to save the world, but he is not getting any capital support. This is just too much. He doesn't want to save this world anymore, but he wonders if the world actually got destroyed. It will be a big loss for him because he will not have a world where he can make money. She then informs him that she actually offers something very important, the sacred weapon on the hero of Ren, a legendary sword, and gives it to you to quickly take it and feel it. After having a closer look, he notices that the sword is actually good. The advanced design concept, he is sure that it's a treasure among treasure. She agrees with him because it's a legendary sword, and as long as he selflessly helped 100 people in distress, the Neo sword will recognize him as its master. And now that he has got that sword, he wonders if it's belonged to him now, if he has the ownership of that sword now. And seeing him that excited, she is not surprised because he is a man after all, and she is sure that every man will go wild after seeing such a fine sword. Next thing she finds out, they are in a pawn shop, and the sword owner is ready to sell the sword. If you guys are enjoying it this far, then please do 1k likes for part 2. Next, Emma begs him not to sell that sword, because that sword has a history of more than 100 years, and so it's a legendary weapon. This surprises he never thought that sword to be a legendary weapon. And seeing him acting like that, Emma thinks he will not sell it now that he knows how important that sword is. But he has different plans. He asks the old man to check it nicely because that sword is a legendary weapon. The old man starts to check the sword, and he thinks the value of the sword must be more than 500 gold. However, seeing that one who brought it are 2 shabby looking guys, he thinks they must have stolen it. So he gets ready to make a profit from them and informs you that the sword is not good, only the texture is good to touch, and informs them that it's worthless. Without saying a word, he leaves from there. The old man gets ready to pay him 200 for that worthless piece. And seeing him leaving from there, Emma wonders if he finally understood the worth of the sword. But that's not the case. He is just leaving because he found a profiteer, and that old man is using an ordinary method to bargain with a businessman. The old man then stops him, saying that he is not a profiteer, and now that old man has offered his price and even call him back, he has found a most effective way to create and expand the price space, even though he doesn't know the exact price of the sword. But now he is at the place where he can bargain and put the price of the sword. Next, the old man offers them some tea and cookies and apologizes for offering the price below his expectation. And seeing those cookies, someone is drooling over it. She is confused if the old man just put tea cookies there to show, or it is for them to eat for free. Old man asks he his name, but he tells the old man to bring the store manager. He will discuss the price with the manager, and he asks for the manager because by replacing the people with higher decision-making power, creates a psychological price advantage between 2 parties and continue to expand the price space. And seeing that poor girl drooling over those cookies, he tells her to eat the cookies because she's been hungry for 5 days. But she doesn't want to. He informs her that she can eat those cookies because they didn't obtain it by selling the Neo sword. She gets ready to eat the cookies, and asks him if he really needs to sell that sword. He falls on his knees, and informs her that he is doing this for the greater goods of humanity. And right now she might think that he only cares about money. But that's not true. They need money to plan for the future that is coming. And with this money they can help a lot of people. He also assures her that he will buy the sword back in the future. But for now he needs her guidance, and asks her to believe in him and move forward side by side with him, and overcome difficulties together. She gets ready to follow him and believe in him. And with this, he has brainwashed that poor girl. Next thing, he informs her to cooperate with him when the manager comes. Then the manager comes in and it's a bunny girl, who seems little scared and is confused, thinking do they really need to negotiate the price? This shocked he never thought a bunny girl to be the manager of that store. And Emma is super happy to see the bunny girl. She jumps at the bunny girl and grabs her ears. He rescues her from Emma and informs Emma that it's not appropriate to touch other people's ears. And if she wants to touch, she has to ask in polite and respectful manner, just like him. Next, they gets ready to negotiate the price, but before that, he informs her who actually he is, and that his name is Gordon G. Purwood, a son of a noble man from distant land. His father was a rich and ruthless lord who oppressed, abused, and enslaved the people in his territory. He lived a luxurious life of debauchery and excess, and eventually died of overdraft. After his father died, he inherited the position of the lord and fell deeper and deeper into the luxurious life. Fortunately, he met the light that illuminated his soul, Miss Emma, the saint of the Order of Destiny. She made him realize that money is nothing, and practicing kindness and helping others can he achieve true salvation and life. And so for 5 years, he has given up his family and career to practice asceticism. And at the same time, he has spent all his wealth to help those poor people. From what Mr. Gordon aka Mr. E said, Old Man understood that he wants to sell the sword to help poor people. And yes, because he saw many poor people in shabby clothes in that town, and he wants to help them. This brings some tears in the bunny girl's eyes. She then introduces herself, and her name is Iwasagi Takaka, and the manager of that pawn shop. He then gives her the sword to give the serious and honest valuation, and also informs her that the sword is one of his family heirlooms. Bunny girl starts to check the sword. She smells it, moves her ears, and bites it, and moves her ears again. And he is expecting the price to be at least 1,000 gold. But Bunny gets ready to offer him 5,000 golds instead. This shocked Emma and the old man, and as for Yi, let's call him Gordon from now on. And Gordon, before coming to that shop, he did his research on the price level in that town. 1 gold can buy about 20 kilograms of marsh rice, and 20 kilograms of marsh rice can feed one person for 60 days. So with 5,000 gold, he will have no problem with food, clothing, and education. Old Man informed the manager that they only have total of 5,300 gold in the store's vault right now. But manager informs him not to worry and believe in her. However, Old Man thinks that it will be a big problem if the Lord knows about him. And now that Gordon have heard their conversation, Gordon thinks that Miss Manager didn't check the value of the sword properly. This makes Old Man mad because the manager is a member of the Iwatora demihuman race, and they never make mistake when identifying a metals. Gordon informs them that the Neo sword is not just some piece of metal, it's a legendary weapon. The metal alone is worth 5,000 gold, and the power contained in it. He is sure that it must be worth at least 20,000 gold. This super shocked Emma and Old Man, because that's just crazy. They never in their wildest dream thought that the sword is worth 20,000 golds. But the manager gets ready to pay him 20,000. She gets ready to transfer the money within 10 days. Gordon notices something very important here. He still underestimated the value of the sword. But now he can't increase the price, it will definitely cause him problem. And he knows that places like pawn shop and banks have powerful forces. And he also heard that there is only one pawn shop in that city. So he gets ready to accept her offer and thanks her on behalf of the poor people of that town for buying that sword and helping them. They give them 5,000 gold as first installment. And now that he has got the money, he gets ready to leave from there and comes to a very expensive hotel. And Emma is scared thinking if they are even allowed to come inside that hotel. Gordon gets mad because a customer have come and there is no one greeting him there. He thinks the service is too poor of that hotel. A beautiful lady comes and she is the owner of the hotel. She informs Gordon that they don't serve civilians and gets ready to throw them outside. Gordon informs her that he is a noble man and gets ready to show her his nobleness. Some people enters the hotel with clothes. They start to change their clothes and Emma is getting scared because they are taking off her clothes and asks the brave hero to save her. Gordon informs her to be quiet and that this is the part of saving the world. After some time, they come out in their new clothes, and the red-haired lady is surprised to see because that's the door-to-door customized service of Jinhyu. After changing the clothes, Emma has become more beautiful, and Gordon is looking more like the spoiled brat of a noble. And the red lady is shocked because there are not many people in the town who can get this door-to-door service, because they are very expensive. Only the Lord can afford this door-to-door service, and this service was really expensive. Gordon paid 2,500 gold for it. The man calls him Baron Gordon, and if he is dissatisfied with the clothes, he can always send someone to exchange them. Gordon gives the man extra 3 gold as a tip, and now that the red lady knows that he is some rich guy, she slips her hand into his arm and apologizes for acting rudely. But Gordon is fine with it and asks her to give him the best room and food they have. He then calls Emma to come with him. But Emma is still in shock because 2 pieces of clothes cost 2,500 golds. That was too much for her to handle. They come to their room and it looks really good. She jumps onto the bed and surprised to see the bed is so soft. It's like lying on clouds. However, Gordon doesn't think that it's that soft. The softness is far worse than the spring mattress he has back in Earth. He then asks her where did she sleep before. She informs him when she was lucky, she secretly sneaked and sleep in other people's pig pens, cowsheds, horses or chicken coops. And when she was not lucky, she used to sleep on the roadside. However, sleeping on the roadside also have its advantages. She can enjoy the beauty of the stars and sky. This makes Gordon super sad. He remembers his past. When he was kid and was poor. When it snows, he would give his jacket to his sister to keep her warm. But she was fine without his jacket, because if she wears the jacket, he would feel cold. He promised her that he will make a lot of money and buy a big house for her. But she was happy even though they were poor, and doesn't want the big house, thinking that she will not get the time to spend with her brother if they have big house. Next, Emma informs him that even though he is different from the brave hero of kindness in her impression, she thinks that he is a kind person. Next, an expensive meal has been served on the table, and Emma is drooling and sad because in front of her is the money from selling the Neo sword. And the money is too delicious. Gordon informs her not to worry and it's all his plan. Everything is to save the world. And something has piqued his interest. He's been hearing about this lord from both the hotel owner and the bunny girl. And this kind of person is inaccessible to civilians, so he must shape himself into a noble. Only this way he can enter the aristocratic circle. He gets ready to make something big enough in that town to make that lord take the initiative to come to him. He then informs Emma to go to bed early because they are going to do shopping around the town tomorrow and exchange some low-value currency. And seems like Emma has fallen asleep after eating everything that was on the table. Well, she hasn't eaten for 5 days. Next, in a place called Moonbone Castle, a man is kneeling in front of a powerful man. And the powerful man is the Count Moto of Crocodile Bay Kingdom. And he is offering meat to the man who is kneeling down, thinking he must be hungry after kneeling for so long. The man informed the Count that those poor people have been squeezed out until there is no oil left. That's why he couldn't collect the tax of 2,000 golds. But the Count is fine with it. However, he doesn't want to keep holding that piece of meat for him. The man thanks him for the meat and start to eat it. Count then calls some girls with a mask to bring more meat for the man. Now the man is getting scared, even though the meat is delicious, but the Count have served him too much of it. The Count then reminds him that when he became the mayor of the town, he swore to the Count that he will pay the tax in time. But he is not keeping his words. Then the man's leg gets locked in the chair. The Count tells him to finish that meat in 15 minutes. And if he can't finish in 15 minutes, the floor where the table is starts to move, and down the table are armored swamp crocodiles, ready to torn the man into pieces. The man starts to eat the meat, and seems like he couldn't finish the meat in 15 minutes. And now that he is done with the man, he gets ready to take care of the bunny, who brought him an item which cost 25,000 golds. Man, she asked him 25,000 20 to give to Gordon and 5 for herself. Being tied up like that, and seeing a man being devoured by the crocodiles. Bunny girl is super scared, she even wet herself. She informed the Count that the sword has extremely huge source of magic, that no amount of money can measure. She can guarantee that in her name. Count looks at the sword, and this kind nobleman Gordon G. would have piqued his interest. He orders a lady named Shadow Ghost to find out the details of Mr. Gordon. He then informs the innocent little bunny that no nobleman is kind. They are just ferocious beasts, and ferocious beasts are all bloodthirsty. How can they be kind? And just like he said, the ferocious beast is asking Emma to take off her clothes. Poor Emma begs him that not to force her. He reminds her that she is a guide for the brave hero and she must fulfill every wish of the brave hero. She also knows that but this request of his is too much. She can't do it. Gordon grabs her by her hand and leg and gets ready to take off her clothes. After taking off her clothes, Gordon then throws her into the pool, because she was smelling like the rotten steam bun. Emma begs him to help her because she is drowning and is sure that there are snakes under the water. Then she calms herself and finds out that the water is not so deep. And what's more, the water is at the perfect temperature. Now she is melting in it. Seeing her acting like that, Gordon remembers his little sister when she first moved to the villa he bought for her. And it seems like there is something underwater. It touches Emma. This scared the crap out of Emma. She informs Gordon that there is something hot under the water and it just touched her. The thing or whatever, it touches her again. She jumps out of the water and jumps onto Gordon, shouting there is a snake under the water. Gordon tries to calm her down by saying snake can't live under hot water. Then he also notices that there is actually something under the water. Red-haired lady comes there and informs them that it's a unique creature that warms the water. 5 of those creatures can boil the water of this size of pool, but just one can heat the water to the most comfortable temperature. She assures Emma that they are not aggressive or toxic in any way. Gordon then throws Emma into the water again and gets ready to have some chat with red-haired. Next, the red-haired lady pours a glass of wine for Gordon, asking what he wants to learn from her, while thinking that she has finally found a noble with normal wealth. So she gets ready to take this opportunity, so he will be obsessed with her, and he will willingly become her humanoid treasury. She spills the glass of wine on her clothes, and now she wonders what should she do to dry herself up. The spoiled brat noble gets excited to see her in that wine. He then do thing with her. However, that was all her imagination. Before she could spill the wine, Gordon have catch it. She is surprised that he is so agile. Well, that because 90% of women who drink alone with Gaoi accidentally spill their wine, which gave Gaoi, who cherishes time, a headache and was forced to practice this skill. Gordon then asks the lady her name. She introduces herself, and her name is Lanliu and the manager of that hotel Bigong. Gordon then asks her to give some info about that town in detail. She informs him that the town is called the Crocodile Town and it's a coastal town in the southeastern part of the kingdom. And the speciality of the kingdom is the marsh rice. The marsh rice taste is particularly soft, glutinous and sweet. It is the best rice, and a food that only nobles can enjoy. And 1/5 of the total rice production of the Crocodile Bay Kingdom is supplied to the royal family and the nobles of the country. Other 4/5 are sold to the princes and nobles of the other countries at high prices. This makes Gordon question what the people of the country eats. She informs him that they eat cheap millet grains imported from neighboring countries. However, in the Crocodile Town, most people can't even afford millet grains and can only eat rice bran. And she is sick of this country and this town. But Gordon is confused because there are only poor people in the town, yet Miss Lanliu have opened such a luxurious hotel here. She informs him that she opened that hotel because there is something called purgatory next to the Crocodile Kingdom, and the magical creature on that island are unique, and the strongest fire-type creature currently known in that continent, and they are the molten feather dragon bird. They use naturally powerful fire magic to continuously heat the earth veins, and now the volcanoes on the island are on the verge of eruption all year round. And even the sea are getting hot because of them, and each feathers contains powerful fire magic. A staff made from the feathers of an adult molten dragon is said to be able to release master level fire magic. And she opened that hotel because only 2 types of people comes there to hunt the bird. The mercenary group directly under the royal family, and some high-level adventurer team. Some of them are even sponsored by nobles. But from couple of years, her business is not doing well, because most of the adventurers and mercenaries were badly hurt when they tried to capture the bird, and now she only comes there twice a year, and now the business is so bad that her hotel is in debt of 100,000 golds. If this goes on, the hotel will be mortgaged to the lord. Gordon asks her who is this lord she is talking because he heard this title several times along the way, and now she changes the topic and apologizes by saying that it's getting late, and gets ready to leave from there without saying a word about the Lord. But before leaving she warns him not to ask about Count Moto and the thing related to him, otherwise he may die. Gordon thanks her for her advice. After she leaves, he gets a super idea from the Great Gold Rush in Western North America in the early 19th century. And by the end of the 20th century, South Africa blood diamonds. They both have something very common. The more dangerous the environment, the more business opportunities. And as his businessman, he gets ready to take this opportunity. He knows that it's dangerous, so he gets ready to proceed with precaution. He then comes back to Emma asking if she is finished washing up. But it seems like Emma is about to be finished. She fainted because she was too comfortable and soaked for too long. Gordon brings her back to the room. She drinks a bottle of milk and comes back to life. Now that she has come back to life, Gordon asks her what kind of abilities does he has. After all, he is a hero of benevolence. This question of Gordon almost made her cry, because he finally realized that he is a hero and has finally started to care about his abilities. She then informs him about the records and the teaching of the Destiny Order that when the world is about to encounter crisis of annihilation, the 5 brave heroes of benevolence, justice, propriety, wisdom, and trust can be summoned from other world to stop the world destruction. And every hero has the holy guide who are responsible for summoning and guiding them, as well as their own holy guidebook and holy martial arts, as well as their different ability system. The heroes will begin their journey of adventure, and in the end, the 5 heroes will have a fateful encounter and join hands to save the world. Gordon is confused because she forgot the part where she's supposed to inform him about his ability, and that she also doesn't know much either. This makes Gordon mad because she just wasted his time by telling some useless story. She informs him that the first chapter of the Book of Benevolence is only written about saving 100 people in distress, and then he can be recognized by the holy martial arts of benevolence, the Neo Sword. Gordon gets ready to check what other chapters has to say about the abilities of the hero of benevolence, but he is unable to open the second chapter. Emma informs him that the Book of Holy Guide is sealed by divine power, and he will not be able to open it until he completes the task of the first chapter. And now he finally understood the value of the Neo Sword. He gets ready to make sure to buy back that sword. Emma tells him not to worry and that she is there to guide him. And as the Holy Guide, she also have the healing powers and the contract technique, and she will protect him in his journey with this powers of hers. This surprises Gordon. This is the first time he heard that Emma has powers. He asks her if her contract power can be used between human and objects, and of course, it can. He then asks her after making the contract, can the person summon the items anytime and anywhere? She informs him that it's possible because the item is stored in the CO of consciousness of the person with the contract. And the sea of consciousness is like an item box, and about how much he can store is depend on the magic power contained in the objects. Gordon asks her how much of the gold coins can be stored in this sea of consciousness, since the gold is just an object without any magic power. She informs him that he can store hundreds of millions. Gordon asks her to help him make contract, but she thinks that it's a waste to put money in the sea of consciousness, because it's very precious. And Gordon also thinks that the money is very precious. They needs money for everything, like they can redeem the Neo Sword. That's why they will have to store the money in the absolutely safe place. And this is all his plan to save the world. If that's the case, she gets ready to help him make the contract, and picks a knife. This scares Gordon a little, thinking what is she going to do with that knife. She informs him that he has to cut his hand and make a contract with the coins by putting some of his blood on every coins. And that is just too much. If he puts his blood on every coins, his body won't have a single ounce of blood in it. She informs him not to worry and that she can heal him. Knowing that she has the healing power, this relieved him a little. However, she informs him that her healing power only heals wound and cannot produce blood. So if he loses too much of blood, there is nothing she can do. She informs him about the blood restoration potion, but it's too expensive, and she is not sure if they are sold in such a remote small town. Gordon starts to think for an idea, then he gets one. He brings a tub, collects some water in it, puts all of his gold coins in it, and cuts his hand. After cutting his hand, he mixes his blood in the water. Now he is sure that this will work, and asks Emma to heal him quickly. But seeing that blood, she is feeling dizzy again, and passes out. Gordon stops his bleeding with some cloth, and starts to wake her up, but she is already in a state where she can't come back. He tries to wake her up again and again, but she is not waking up. Gordon then notices that she is breathing strangely, and she seems having difficulty in breathing. Gordon gets ready to help her, and gives her CPR. Emma starts to gain her consciousness, and finds out that her lips are very hot. Her eyes gets wide open to see her brave hero face right in front of her. She pushes him away, saying she doesn't like this kind of things, and the teaching of the Order of Destiny doesn't allow her to do something like this with the brave hero. But Gordon doesn't give a crap about the teaching. He just woke her up so that she can heal him. Next, Emma gets ready to heal him. She uses her healing magic and his hand starts to get healed. And seeing that power, Gordon is surprised. He wonders if he could bring this girl back to Earth. He would have made a lot of money in the medical field. But he is also sure that people with this kind of magic must be rare in this world too. So there is still a way for him to make money here. He then asks her to use her contract technique on him and the coins. She gets ready to show him another of her skill. Takes out a staff, enchanted some spell. A magic circle starts to form around the bucket of gold. Then a bright light comes out from the bucket. It enters in Gordon's sea of conscious. Then a giant golden lady appears in front of him. Now he can really feel the existence of every gold coins in his body. In the Earth, although he had hundreds of billions of assets, they were just a bunch of misty data to him. But this is awesome. The gold coins are like flesh and blood that make up his body. Now he can feel each and every coins inside his body. He is liking this world more and more. Next day, Emma and Gordon comes to a potion shop, because Lan Liu informed him that the town is not a safe place. And now he has come to buy some potions and weapons. And he has come to buy some blood restoring potions. The shop owner, who seems little shady, informs Gordon that his shop has the best potions in the town. and gets ready to bring some high-quality potions for him. While thinking Gordon must be a noble, and this kind of person spend money like water, he gets ready to make fortune out of him. He brings the high-quality triple packs of blood potion, and they are only 5 golds, but Gordon thinks that's too expensive. The man gets ready to give him discount. If he buys 30 bottles of those high-quality potions, he will give him in just 45 golds. But not so fast. Gordon stops him and asks if this is really a high-quality potions. If it's not, that he is F up. Gordon then takes out a bottle, and the bottle of that blood potion, pours the blood in his bottle to check the quality of the blood, because to identify the quality of blood restoring potions is very simple. The brighter the color, the higher the quality. On the contrary, the lower the quality, the darker the color. And the man deliberately used the blood red crystal bottle as a container to make the potion look extremely bright red. And the shelf life of most blood restoring potion is 1 year. If it exceeds 1 year, the longer the time, the worse the blood restoring effect will be. And after they exceeded their shelf life, they will emit a strong smell of blood. And to cover the smell, the man deliberately placed an incense burner in front of the counter. Gordon grabs him for having the balls to sell those lot quality potions. And the man is shocked, thinking how a noble knows so much about blood restoring potion, because he did his research before coming there. Gordon informs him if the nobles and adventurers knew about this scam of his, he will be executed. Gordon wonders the reason for why he dared to do this is that he wants to make a lot of money and run away from there during the feather hunting season. The man begs Gordon to spare him because he hasn't paid enough taxes for 2 months. If this continues, he will be killed. He falls on his knees to let him go. Gordon gives him 30 golds and orders him to bring him the best high-quality potions. The man then brings him the best quality potions. Since they are very high-quality potions, the man begs him to pay at least 120 golds. But Gordon thinks that he has given him the perfect amount and that he is not at lose. But seeing the man kept on asking, Gordon informs him if he should go to Xiao Mo and ask him to pay. This shocked the man because the man in front of him is calling the Count Xiao Mo. He doesn't want to mess with this noble in front of him. Gordon also confiscated all the low-quality potions, and Emma is happy, thinking that he is helping other people by not letting that shop owner sell those cheap potions. She informs the man to do good deed and not lie to other people. Gordon then comes to the weapon shop. There also he buys weapons in 20% of the actual price. If the weapons were 1,000, he bought them in 200. Poor weapon shop owner almost hang himself. Gordon then comes to the place where he can buy some other stuffs. Same thing happened there too. He bought them in 20% of their actual price. Next, Emma is confused, thinking why those people were selling them things at such a cheap price just after they talked to the brave hero. She then gets shocked to see her brave hero crying. And he is crying because he hasn't encountered such primitive and simple marketing method for a long time. Even the little tricks they play thinking they were smart were so clumsy and cut her in his eyes. Emma is confused. Gordon informs her that when the strength of both sides are not on the same level, even if the person in an absolutely overwhelming position wins, he will not be happy. On the contrary, he will be sad for the pitiful weakness of his opponent. He wonders if this is the loneliness of God. Next, Gordon and Emma are on the street. Emma notices some commotion there, and they gets ready to check what is going on there. And some guards have catch a kid for daring to buy private food, because the city has an iron rule that the civilians can only buy food from official food store. But in the official store, even with 60 copper, they can't buy half a pound of marsh rice. They can't afford it at all. The guard informs him that if he can't afford the food, then he can just die. And for breaking the rule, he gets ready to cut off that boy's hand. This makes Emma super mad. She gets ready to go and beat that man to death. Gordon stops her, because they can't just rashly clash with the local officers and soldiers. This makes her sad because the brave hero is not going to help that poor kid, who is going to get his hand chopped off. Gordon informs her that he will help that boy, but first, they will go to Lanliu and ask for some men. Next, the guards are ready to cut the boy's hand. They gets ready to swing the axe. Someone stops them. This makes the guard mad that someone dares to interfere with the execution. A big carriage stops and a lady comes out from there. Then the spoiled noble brat. The guard asks him who is he, and how dared he stop their execution. Gordon acts as some high-class noble and asks Emma to talk with that filthy dirt. She informs everyone that the gentleman they are seeing is the master of the Tongshan city, Baron Gordon, and he has fell in love with that boy and wants to take him back as a servant. But the boy doesn't want to be a servant of some dog noble. He gets slap on his face, and it's Baron Gordon, because no one can refuse the items he likes, not even the item itself. Now the guard is getting scared because he has never heard about this Tongshan city. but he is definitely sure that he can't mess with this noble. The guard gets ready to give the boy to him and grabs the boy by his hair and informs him that his life will going to be worse from now on, because this kind of dirty noble likes to play with the body of cute boys, and from now on his life is just going to be hell. He kicks the boy and orders him to thank the Baron for accepting him. The guard gets a kick right on his face. This surprises everyone there. The boy is also surprised to see that, and he kicked the guard because he dared to step on his thing with his dirty feet. The guard apologizes, saying he didn't really meant to. Gordon then grabs his woman and gets mad at the guard for looking at his woman. This surprises Emma. Gordon informs her to plan along and hold his arm. She holds onto his arms tightly with two big mountains. Gordon gets ready to give the guard one slap for every glance. He glanced on his woman. Guard informs him that it was just one glance, but the Baron wants to know from the people, how many times did that guard looked at his woman? People starts to shout 10, 20, some even shouts 100 times. However, 100 times, Gordon thinks that's just too much, but he is sure that the most he has seen is 99 times. The guard informs him that he is from Count Murtaugh, aka Count Moto, but Gordon doesn't think that Count Moto has subordinates like him. If he had, he would have killed him long time ago. Besides, Gordon doesn't want to dirty his hands, so he throws 99 silver coins to the public. 1 coin for 1 slap. Everyone gets ready to slap the guard for 1 silver. And with this, Gordon is sure that he has catch the attention of Count Moto. And he has. The shadow lady was watching from far away. Next, Gordon brings the kid to his house, and informs the boy that from now on, his life belongs to him. But the boy is not going to let him treat him as a human toy. He gets ready to die, then become a slave of a noble. Gordon informs the boy that he is not going to kill him. After all, he exchanged the boy's life with his actor-level acting skill and 99 silvers. And what Gordon wants is his body and mind. This shocked the boy, thinking what this noble wants to do with his body and mind. Gordon informs the boy that he wants to recruit him as his employee. This surprises the boy even more. And now Gordon has decided that he will rebuild his G group in this world too. And that boy will be his first employee. He orders Emma to take that little girl disguised as a boy and clean her up. The girl asks him what this employee means, and she doesn't want to take a shower. And also, how did he knew that she was a woman? Gordon notices something. Why did he avoided Emma when he mentioned the first employee? When that idiot Emma is probably the most coveted employee of all bosses. Next, Emma has cleaned her up, and now she is looking more ladylike, and has even become cuter. Bro got another girl in his harem. Next, Gordon asks her if her face is still hurting, but thanks to Sister Emma, it's not hurting anymore. Gordon then asks her her name. She informs him that her name is Cattails. Gordon then offers her a piece of cake, and seeing that piece of cake, someone is drooling over it. Cattails takes a bite of the cake. After eating it, she starts to cry. Gordon asks her if the cake is not delicious, and it's not the cake. She is crying because she thinks that she doesn't deserve to eat such cake. Moreover, she thinks she shouldn't ask for charity from others. This is what her grandfather told her. She thanks him for his kindness. Then she gets surprised when Gordon informs her that she is mistaken something here, because the cake is not for free, and someone behind him is about to finish the whole cake. Gordon scolds her for eating that cake, because she will not have space of dinner after eating that much cake. Gordon informs Cattails that the cake is just an advance payment, and as long as she answered his question about Count Murtaugh, he will also reward her with 1 silver. She gets ready to answer every questions of Gordon because she knows that Count Moto all too well. After some time, Gordon has already asked 388 questions about Count Moto, and now 389. He asks her what is Moto's sexual fetish. Well, she also doesn't know about that. Gordon wants to learn about Moto as much as he can, so he can deal with Moto more perfectly. And Emma is confused, thinking why he wants to learn about Moto. But because Moto has sent him a dinner invitation. And now he gets ready to go and visit Count Moto. Emma stops him. She also gets ready to go with him to see Count Moto. Gordon tells her to stay behind and look after the house because they haven't invited her. And if you are not invited in a party, don't go. But she wants to go because she must be with the brave hero all the time. That is her mission as the holy guide. And after hearing all the answers from Cattails, she thinks Count Moto is a very dangerous man. And the brave hero doesn't even have any martial arts nor magic. And he even sold the Neo sword. So she is afraid if she doesn't protect him then that Count Moto might kill him. Gordon pats her head and informs her that he will not die that easily and just wait for him to come back. She gets ready to trust him and wait for him at home. The carriage to the Count Moto was waiting for him outside the Bai Hotel. And Lanliu was also waiting for him there. And she is mad, even though she warned him not to get in touch with Count Murtaugh. but he still did. Gordon asks her how can she be so sure that he is not as dangerous as Count Motto. Gordon then leaves from there. Lan Liu starts to wonder if Baron Gordon is also a dangerous man like Count Motto. However, she still likes him, and now she is even finding herself little obsessed with him. Next, Gordon comes to the lakeside, and there was someone waiting for him there. And it's the lady with a mask. She gets ready to take him to the other side of the lake. And looking at the castle, Gordon notices something. The deadly silence is as pale as the moonlight, and the castle looks like a giant eerie skeleton floating on a swamp. He comes into the castle, and the guards in the castle are also extremely tight. The lady brings him in the waiting room and asks him to wait there for a moment. Gordon gets ready to use this time to go over all the plans in his head. Then he suddenly starts to feel dizziness, and it's because of the incense that is in that room. He wakes up and finds a beautiful mermaid in front of his eyes. She starts to clean him, and it's not just one mermaid, there are 3 of them. Then Count Motto comes there giving Gordon some info about Mermaid. How their skin insulate heat and maintain low temperature in the body, and the hot water, coupled with their cold tongues, can let a man experience the ultimate feeling of ice and fire. Man, things are getting good now. Next, now that Count Motto have come, Gordon gets ready to begin his plan. However, Count Motto is really confused because he doesn't know if Baron Gordon is the kind-hearted nobleman who sold his sword to do charity, or the extravagant aristocrat who immediately spent 2,500 gold to customize a luxurious dress and live in the Bai Hotel after receiving the money, or the clever and arrogant noble who disrupted the execution at the execution ground with only a few dozens of silver, and forcibly bought the children who bought private grain as slaves from his tax soldiers. Gordon kneels in front of him and informs him that he is both and neither, and he did that to get Count Motto's attention, and he has come there to get help from Count Motto. Count Motto is surprised and asks Gordon what kind of help does he need from him. Gordon smiles, thinking the Count has taken his bait. He gets ready to perfect the character he carefully weaved. He asks the Count to give him powerful army to kill his uncle. Now where did this uncle of his came from? Count Motto is surprised by his request, and asks Gordon to inform him about his family background and why he wants to kill his uncle. Gordon then informs him that he is Gordon G. Purwood, the eldest son of the Lord Tongshan, the lord of the Tongshan city on Golden Island, and his father was originally a maritime trade tycoon. But something unexpected happened during his voyage. His fleet encountered a big storm and all sank. However, his father somehow survived and after drifted at the sea for 7 days and 7 nights. They finally washed up on an uninhabited island. His father was disheartened because the entire fleet was destroyed and wanted to end his life. But he suddenly discovered something unexpected, something that was underneath his feet. The sand he was standing, it was not a sand but a gold. Although his father lost all his belongings, he found an uninhabited island surrounded by gold sand, which was a blessing in disguise. His father used the gold sand to make a comeback and built the Tongshan city on that island and named it the Golden Island. But his good times didn't last long. Gordon's biological uncle, his father's biological brother. His uncle always exploited his father's wealth, and finally poisoned his father with poisonous wine. What's more, uncle also occupied his mother. His uncle is now his motherfu. Gordon punches on the concrete to show his anger, and in order to survive, he escaped like a lost dog. From that moment on, he swore he will kill his uncle, and take back everything that is rightfully his. So he begs to the Count to help him. He used Shakespeare's most classic tragedy, Hamlet, and fabricated into his life experience, coupled with his actor-level performance and the huge wealth temptation of the Gold Island. No matter how much wealth does Count Motto has, but Gordon is sure that his heart must be starting to feel turbulent after hearing about the Gold Island. Count Motto didn't think that Baron Gordon suffered such a bad ship. His story is even making Count Motto emotional now. Gordon starts to think that now he can control Count Motto easily, but he didn't expect to get a knife on his chest. He didn't see that coming. Gordon is confused because he couldn't deceive the Count, and the reason the Count stabbed him is because he came to beg and was carrying a hidden knife. And the second is he hates people trying to be clever in front of him. This shocked Gordon, thinking how did the Count knew that he was being clever here. However, Count Motto still gets ready to help him because his story intrigued him. Gordon understood that the Count is only trying to intimidate him, and the Count couldn't resist the temptation of the Golden Island. Count pours him a glass of wine. Now Gordon is in tough situation because he doesn't know whether the wine has some drug in it or not. Count wonders why he is not drinking the wine he gave him. Gordon, without thinking, drinks the wine, saying now his life will be in the brave hands of Count Motto. Count claps his hand for the courage Gordon has shown to him. After drinking the wine, Gordon's throat starts to burn like fire. Count informs him that the wine is called Fire Throat and is brewed from the scallop meat grown in the volcanic crater on Purgatory Island and the hottest chili, the Crimson Viper. But the pain he is feeling right now will slowly disappear afterwards. What follows is the heart will start to beat at 4 times the speed. The blood will flow, pores of the whole body will open, and the whole body will become extremely hot, especially in the place where his little brother is. And something is trying to cool his little brother. The mermaid starts to attack his little brother. Count informs him that the Icefin mermaids becomes extremely thermophilic during the estrus period. After he drank that fire throat, his body temperature have soared rapidly, and the mermaids will frantically wants to attack his body. Moreover, Icefin mermaids live in the deep sea. Their bodies are extremely tight in order to resist the huge pressure of the sea water. And in addition, in order to facilitate swimming, their body will continuously secrete special lubricating mucus, which can make wounds heal quickly. Count then leaves saying once he enjoyed the 3, he will no longer be interested in human females. The mermaid starts to perform their magic ritual, and Gordon has totally lost his control of his little brother. Before leaving, Count informs him that the 3 of them are very clinging, and if they are not satisfied, he will not be able to come out. Gordon pulls out the knife, and since every cell in his body is burning violently, he gets ready to use these 3 to cool his body temperature. Man, this is wild. I never thought this manhua to go this way. Next, Gordon have lost all his energy after that fearsome battle with those 3. The mermaid lady then asks him if he completely wants to own them. Gordon notices a potential danger there, and he wants to own them, but he also knows that they are very important to Count Motto, so he can't. The mermaid then asks him to just kill the Count Motto and be their new master. This sends a chill down his spine, and informs the mermaid not to joke with him. Then a sharp object suddenly appears right next to his temple, and it's the other 2 mermaid, ready to pierce his head with their fingers, saying they are not joking. Now Gordon is getting confused, thinking if it's Motto's temptation. He then tells them how can they act like this when they just had the skin-to-skin attack. And it's because of that skin-to-skin attack, the mermaid can truly understand him. She then calls him by his real name, Gaoi, the brave man of benevolence from another world. This shocked him because only Emma knows about his real name and that he is the brave hero. He is confused, thinking how did this fish knew about his real identity. She tells him not to think that hard, and she is the female royal member of the Icefin mermaid clan, who has the ability to read minds. However, to trigger the condition for mind reading, she has to go deep and attack his little brother. Gordon didn't expect her to have such an OP ability. Gordon informs them that he doesn't have the strength and ability to kill Count Motto. On the contrary, she has the opportunities and abilities to kill Count Motto, and yet she is asking him to kill the Count. But he thinks that there is 2 possibilities of doing that. First, she was testing him for Motto. If he cannot withstand the temptation of the beauty and want to kill the Count, he will die miserably. But if that was the case, there was no need for her to reveal to him that she can read minds. She can just go and inform the Count about his true identity. So the first one is not the case. And the second one is, he has very important role for her, or in other words, she wants him to achieve something for her. But she was not sure whether he would cooperate. So she first seduced him with her beauty, but failed. And then she used mind reading to see through his true identity, and used it to blackmail him. And if that's the case, this matter has turned to a business matter. Since it's a business matter, he doesn't want the atmosphere to be so tense, and removes the lady's sharp nails away from his temple. He then relaxed there, asking the mermaid about their true purpose. She informs him that when she became one with him, she has seen all his moment of joy and all his moments of sadness. She also saw his desire for money that no one can match. And at the same time, she saw his strong mind that resisted the erosion of money and completely controlled it. And hidden under the money, she also feel the untouchable tenderness in the deepest part of his heart. Gordon asks her what exactly does she wants. Since he is smart, she tells him to guess, then informs him that she wants him. However, he is priceless, so she should consider something else. She informs him that he is her first man and he will be her last man. Now this changes everything. He found a gem in that water, and is confused, thinking the Count never asked her to serve him. She informs him that the Count has never had relationship with non-human races. He has special sexual mysophobia, and the Count has never asked her to personally serve a man. This shows that Count is really interested in Gordon. She then informs him to go out and inform the Count that she tempts him to kill him. This will be his final test of loyalty, but Gordon is worried because by doing so, she will be in danger. She tells him not to worry, because she won't put herself in danger until she gives birth to an heir for him. Gordon puts his clothes on and asks how he can get in touch with her. She tells him before Motto is dead, not to contact her. She will take the initiative to show up when he needs help. She then introduces herself and that her name is Ko, and tells him to remember it well. After all, she is his first woman in that world. Now he can never forget that. He leaves from there. The other mermaids are worried, thinking if they can really trust that man. Ko informs them that Gordon is destined to become king but not a king, to dominate but not to dominate, to unify but not to unify, to rule but not to rule. He can do things for them that Motto can never do, and informs the two ladies that from now on, Gordon will be their true master, and they must have the consciousness to die for him, and she will give birth to the first bloodline of his. Next, Gordon comes to the Count. The Count asks him if he is satisfied with the service. He is very satisfied. He has never experienced something like this before, and informs the Count that he has something to inform him. He informs the Count that the mermaids tempt him to kill the Lord Count. Only a words comes out from the Lord Count's mouth. Oh, Gordon falls to his knees, saying he is absolutely loyal to his Count and will never betray him. With this he seems to have won the Count's trust, and the Count is also looking forward to see what benefits Lord Gordon will bring to him. And now the fish has taken the bait.
Next, Gordon informs the Count, or Lord Earl, about his family background, and that he was born in the world of business and trade. Business flows in his blood, and that he can make Lord Earl earn more money. But Lord Earl doesn't think that he is little low on money right now. But money is money. It is not bad to have more. And Gordon thinks that Lord Earl will need more money before he defeats Sio Kai Kyobo, the Prince of the Bay Kingdom. He shouldn't be short on money before that. Gordon also informs him more on why he needs more money. Gordon gives him pure details about why he needs more money. The cities on the west and north are governed by the Royalist Party, and some south parts are under Lord Earl. 14 years ago, his elder brother took the throne. His brother forced him to accept some very not good cities. But Lord Earl didn't stop there. He established his own empire, made himself so powerful that his brother who tried to kill him couldn't kill him. 3 years ago, Lord Earl defeated the royal army of 12,000 with only 3,000 of his army, drowned his eldest brother in the gloomy marsh with his own hands. And that's why the current king, Jobek's son, Zio Kai Job, hate him and wants to kill him. But to Lord Earl, those people are just like rotten blooms on the gloomy marsh. He can squeeze any time. Gordon also knows that there is no one who can be Lord Earl's opponent, except one person. That is feeding Gong Ju-gu. Gordon heard this name from Cattails. She informed him about this Gong Ju-gu guy, the foundation of the Bay Kingdom, the fierce general and a duke of the kingdom. An old man who rides crocodiles, that has spiky thorns on its body. He is the general of the most powerful knights called the Iron Knights, and he is also called the hero of the kingdom, and Cattails seems to be his fan. On the other hand, Gordon is shocked to hear about knights that rides crocodiles, not horses. Their number is only 1,000, but they are the most strongest in the Bay Kingdom. They have defeated many strong enemies of the kingdom. From this, Gordon realized something, that crocodiles are important. She also informs him about the different species of this crocodiles, and among them, the strongest is the one with the skin as hard as iron and has thorns all over its body. Many people tried to cultivate them, but they all failed in doing so. Their temperament is too strong, extremely violent, and no one have subdued them. So they release the ones they have to the gloomy Koi Marsh. Ordinary people can't live or even pass through that gloomy Koi Marsh. From all this, Gordon gets an amazing idea and a way to make Lord Earl listen to his request. Back to the present, Lord Earl also thinks that his only obstacle on his way is the Iron Knights and Ju-gu. And from what Gordon informed him, he wonders how can they defeat Ju-gu if they have enough money. He gets ready to listen to Gordon's plan in detail. Gordon informs him about the plan, which surprises Lord Earl, because with that plan, he thinks that it will empty his pocket before the plan is complete. Gordon makes sure that Earl will gain more than what he invested. After that, the money Earl invested will be nothing more than 9 cows and dime. Earl gets ready to go with his plan. But before that, Earl asks Gordon to pass his last test. Earl gets ready to make him the new mayor of the town, and if he can earn 100,000 gold within 3 months, Earl gets ready to answer to his request. But during this period, Earl will not give him any financial support. Gordon gets ready to do it, but asks Earl that he needs someone who can use violence to ensure that his order can be executed, and someone who can protect him all the time, because this is going to be too dangerous. Earl gets ready to give him that someone, and call his shadow ghost. A beautiful lady covered in shadow dirt comes out from the shadow. Earl orders her to protect Gordon and follow his order. She will be his personal guard from now on. She gets ready to do as her lord order her. Next, a beautiful lady seems to be tied up and is being punished for some crime. and it's a little boy punishing two ladies with a whip, while making their husband watch them getting punished like that. Their husband are knights, and you guessed it right, that little kid is the prince. Another lady hurriedly comes to the prince's chamber, ready to be punished too, and she seems little mad. The prince gets shocked to see her there. Turns out, she is his mother. She slaps that little brat, asking Jobo, "Do you know what are you doing?" Mother Beauty, I am sure he definitely knows what is he doing. Now the son is mad because he was having so much fun, but his mother disturbed him. Mother is mad because now he is the king. She doesn't think that his father would be happy seeing him like this. He laughs at his mother because she too knows that his father spended more money than him in women. He grabs the two ladies on their hair saying that those two were trained by his father, slaps them in their butt cheeks saying his father had a taste of those. And those loser husbands of theirs, even they knew about it. They just watch like dogs from the side. One husband couldn't take it anymore. He takes out his sword and pierces his own chest, because he didn't know that the king also played that football game and scores some goals with his wife. And he as a knight couldn't even protect his own wife. He gets hit by an arrow on his head. The new king sent him off from the world. And now the new king can play football or wrestling with his wife all day long. His friend knight and wife couldn't do anything except cry. Mother is shocked to see that. Now she is sure that the kingdom will be destroyed in his hands. The king tells his mother not to worry because he will take care of everything. Next, the summoner girl, Emma, the red-haired lady, Lanliu, and the lowly Cattails are observing Gordon very carefully, who have returned from Lord Earl's castle. But he is fine. Lanliu is surprised to see that Gordon came back unscathed, which is so unheard of, because anyone who goes to meet Lord Earl, they never come out unscathed. Cattails thought that he would be fed to the crocodiles. Among three of them, only one lady noticed something different. She noticed something in his neck, a nasty wound. The lowly thinks it must be mosquito bite because it's too small. He remembers the mosquito who bit him. He informs everyone that there are many mosquito in Lord Earl's castle because it's in the middle of the lake, so it was inevitable to not get bit by one. Emma then tears up his clothes to see if there are any more mosquito bite on him, and is shocked to see so many on his body. She is definitely sure that Lord Earl must have tortured him with his mosquitoes, and Cattails didn't think the mosquitoes would be so evil just like their Lord Earl. But Lanliu notices some difference in the bite, because she was also bit by mosquito before, when she came there. But it was totally different, not like the one that Gordon has. Gordon hides his love bite saying that it was also caused by other insects, and Emma can heal him easily. Then he informs them about the good news, that he has been appointed as the mayor of that city or town by Lord Earl. But they don't seem that happy after hearing that. Instead, Cattails is mad because she heard about the last mayor, who was killed by that evil Lord Earl. Not killed, but he fed the mayor to the crocodiles. For bad-mouthing Lord Earl, the shadow ghost appears from behind her and grabs Cattails by her neck, and put two of her fingers in her mouth. But why two fingers? Gordon asks Shadow Ghost to let go of Cattails, because she is important to him. Ghost takes out her two fingers from Cattails' mouth, and apologizes for taking action just like that without Gordon's order. Lanliu is shocked to see the Shadow Ghost of Lord Earl there. Following Gordon's order, Gordon introduces Shadow Ghost to all the ladies and that she will be his personal guard from now on. Lanliu, since she is a businesswoman, she is good at putting that fake warm smile. But the two other ladies are not. They welcomes her in their group. And with this, Lanliu is definitely sure that Gordon is not ordinary, because Lord Earl especially ordered one of his 4 generals to guard Gordon. Gordon informs the ladies that even though they have biases towards Lord Earl, he will not allow them to badmouth Lord Earl. Otherwise, he will ask Ghost Shadow to deal with them. The 2 ladies gets ready to follow his orders. He didn't expect them to react like this, even though they have already talked this through. And now it's going to be difficult for them to talk freely about Earl because there is that Shadow Ghost with them in the shadow. It's getting late, so he asks the ladies to rest for today, and tomorrow they will listen to his mayor's speech. He asks Lanliu to arrange a top-level Howard Plaza suit for the Shadow Ghost. However, Ghost is fine just being the Shadow. She doesn't need anything else. And after seeing Shadow Ghost and that skin of hers, Lanliu wonders if she is from the Lost Country. And Gordon is also surprised to hear that she can just stay and hide in his shadow. A great skill to assassinate his enemies. He thinks that it's just too wasteful to keep this kind of talent for Earl. He gets ready to make her into his staff member. Like Cattails, at night, Gordon is sleeping soundly on his bed. The Shadow Ghost comes out from the shadow. She looks more beautiful in that moonlight. The moon behind her head, that glowing eyes of her, and with barely any. She gets ready to perform the real task now. That son of a gun, Lord Earl, have sent her there to steal all Gordon's belongings and make him penniless. Ghost changes into her birth suit because in this suit she becomes more powerful. First, she gets ready to check Gordon's bag. She is definitely sure that there are some interesting things in that bag. However, what she found was nothing, just some clothes. No gold coins. After a few hours of searching, she found nothing, not a penny in that whole room. Now the only place she hasn't searched is Gordon's body. She gets ready to search his body too, but he grabs her hand, brings her closer to him, and hugs her in his sleep. Forcefully made her sleep next to him. She is shocked and little blush, confused about what's going on there. And Gordon is also sleep talking. He is dreaming about his little sister, telling his little sister that when they buy a big house, they will have separate beds. Now that she knows that he is still sleeping, she gets ready to search his body, thinking that this is the best chance. She enters her hand inside his clothes, and then little lower, that's the right place, it's where he hides his family jewels. He hugs her even tightly after she touches his little brother, telling his little sister no more peeling is allowed, or brother will get angry. She tries to free herself from his hug, but he is too strong, and she is surprised to see a human to have such a strength. However, being in his arms like that, even though it's little embarrassed, she feels warm in his arms. She used to hug her brother like this and nap with him together. She gets ready to take a little rest in his arms because it's too late to continue searching. After all, he has nothing on him. Just like that, she falls asleep on his arms. Next day, Emma wakes up early in the morning as the summoner and guide of the great hero. She thinks that she has to wake up earlier than the brave hero. Lanliu have also wake up early today. She wants to make some sweet breakfast for Gordon and make him fall for her. Lily Cattails have also wake up early today. She wants to properly thank Uncle Gordon, who saved her and who also has money. They all arrive together in front of Gordon's room and are surprised by the fact that they all woke up early and are in front of Gordon's room. Anyways, they all gets ready to enter together and give him a surprise that they all woke up early to wake him up. But instead, they all get surprised to see a girl in her birthday suit on his bed in his arms. Because of their loud noise, Gordon wakes up asking what's going on there. Emma points her finger to his left. He is confused to see her acting like that, as if a naked woman is sleeping on his side. He too gets shocked to see Ghost sleeping on his side, and she is in her birthday suit. Emma is freaking out and asks Gordon why is Shadow's sister sleeping with him, and what did he do to her. And Lanliu is also mad because Shadow's sister get to be the first. But she wonders if Gordon forced her to sleep with him. But seeing that warm smile on her face, she doesn't think that he forced her at all. Loli is confused to see Earl's ghost sleeping on the same bed with Gordon, and naked. She asks Emma about what is going on there. Emma, like a mature sister, covers her eyes, because she is still a kid and shouldn't watch something like playing football, a game of score. Shadow's sister wakes up asking where is brother, Gordon, who is trying to explain the situation to the other ladies. Shadow's sister pulls him back into her arms, back to sleep. She wants her brother to hug her and sleep for a while. And Emma, she is super mad. She punches the wall and carries Cattails on her shoulder and leaves from there. Lanliu leaves the breakfast on the table and gets ready to wait for Gordon and Shadow's sister to take complete rest. After some time, Gordon have put some clothes on Shadow's sister, and he is confused about what's going on in that mind of Earl. He keeps sending women to him who are ready to play football with him. Then Shadow Ghost wakes up after taking a complete rest. Shadow Ghost wakes up, mumbling search body, search body. Then she widely opens her eyes and sees Gordon in front of her eyes, who is saying good morning. She suddenly takes out her shadow knife and points at him, surprising Gordon, because she was the one who snuck in his bed naked. And now she is pointing her sword at him. She tells Gordon not to say a word about what happened last night. From her reaction, Gordon notices that she was not ordered by Earl to sleep with him. He gets ready to keep it a secret, but informs her that Emma and others knows about it. They came to wake him up and they saw her in her birthday suit on his bed. She gets ready to quickly go and silence them all. He stops her saying they are important in making money for Lord Earl to defeat Jugu. If she kills them, she will disturb her Lord Earl's future plan. He tells her to rest assured. He will make the other ladies to shut their mouth like bottles. And he also won't say a word to anyone. And let this matter be a secret between them. The secret only the two of them knows. She points her knife at him once again, saying if he let Lord Earl know about last night, she will cut his neck. If that happens, he also gets ready to wash his neck clean for her. Then he grabs her hand, reminding her that she is his guard, and what kind of guard points their knife at the one they are supposed to protect. He lifts her up with his one hand. She has the power to move her hand, but for some reason, her body can't resist him. And that's because her brother also used to do that. Grab her hand and hang her in the air, when she used to play with knife. And all she could do was apologize. She looks cute here. She gets ready to listen to him and asks her to let go of her hand. He let go of her hand and gets ready to go to the town's central square to give his speech. In the town's central square, all the people of the town have gathered to see their new mayor, because the mayors in their town doesn't last long. The longest one was 5 months. He lasted for 5 months. And the recent one was eaten by crocodiles. Gordon comes up to give speech with 2 ladies by his side. They are shocked to see the one who was bad-mouthing and even beat Lord Earl's guard as their new mayor. They are shocked to see that he is still alive, and what's more, Lord Earl made him the new mayor. Gordon then gives them his speech. First he shut them up and informs them that he has 3 things to say. He informs everyone that within 3 months, all of them should earn 100 golds, which seems difficult for the townspeople. So Gordon calls Emma to come in front. She has some papers with her below her melons. She throws the papers in the air. People catch the paper to see what the new mayor has to say. They have gotten an order to kill the crocodiles and get 1 gold for each. And they don't need to be scared of getting hurt and all. If they got hurt, they can just come to mayor for treatment. It's a kill order. Gordon wants to make weapons from those crocodiles' skin. A strong and powerful armors and all. They will make armor and sell it to another nations and make money from it. But in their country, killing crocodiles is a capital crime. But there is a seal of Earl of Murdo under the order. Gordon has already asked for the permission, and Earl also gave him the permission. But the validity period is only 3 months. But the people are not willing to take that order, because Lord Earl is ordering them to kill something they are not allowed to. And they are scared, thinking they will be killed later. Now this is going to be troublesome for Gordon. The town people doesn't respect Earl, doesn't trust him, because he is just too evil. Since the people are not listening, the guard gets ready to kill 1 or 2. So they will listen to the order. However, if they do that, the people who have already reached the limit will definitely cause riots. He starts to think on how to win the people's trust. Gets ready to pay them first to win their trust. Then he gets shot by an arrow right in his chest. Bye-bye, Gordon. Rest in peace in heaven. Emma is super scared to see him like that. He sheeshes her and informs her that he bought a stainless steel chest protector yesterday, so she doesn't need to worry that much. He won't die. Cat-Ale seems to remember that arrow. Even though he has that stainless steel chest protector, the arrow still pierced through it and hit him. Shadow Ghost, who couldn't protect him, tells him not to move and break that arrow, letting only the tip of that arrow to stay in, so the blood won't pump out. Gordon asks her to quickly catch the assassin. However, she notices the arrow, and the assassin is the Iron Knights. Gordon is surprised to know that the Iron Knights are after his life. And if they did it, then Ghost thinks that the possibility of catching them is almost 0. Then the one who attacked him comes out. He was hiding on the rooftop. Rather than assassin, he looks more like a heavy knight. He charges towards the guard where Gordon is laying. The guards gets ready to protect their mayor, but they didn't stand a chance against that heavy knight. One attack from him and the guard went flying back from where he came. The captain orders the spear guards to attack that knight with their spear, but their spears too didn't work on that heavy knight. Seeing that the guards are not capable of stopping that guy, Ghost gets ready to stop him. Gordon tells her to be careful because he seems powerful and dangerous. Cat-Ale seems to remember that night. Seeing her there, the knight become more stronger and sent those guards flying. Even with that heavy shield and armor, the man jumps up in the air and jumps at Gordon to take him out. Cat-Ale jumps in front of that man and stops him. Turns out the knight is her grandfather. He is happy to see her doing fine. She informs him about what happened and how brother Gordon helped her. The knight takes off his helmet and asks Gordon if he is the one who saved his granddaughter. But grandfather is still mad at him because he heard some rumors from people how Gordon wanted to make his granddaughter into his plaything. Shadow puts her knife at that old man, telling him to let go of Gordon. Old man notices her. She is someone from a place called Dark Valley. And from his weapons, Shadow also notices that old man is someone who is at the bottom of the Iron Knight and asks if he is sent by Jugu there. Even though she knows shadow art, old man is still not scared of her because he is confident in his armor that her shadow knife won't be able to penetrate it. Gordon notices the armor. It is made from nail thorn crocs. He warns Shadow Ghost if she move, he will take his granddaughter and Gordon, and she won't be able to find him. Gordon calms the old man by putting his hand on his chest, and Gordon is happy to see that old man in that nail thorn armor. Gordon asks him if his armor is made of thorns. He gets scared because killing those crocs are illegal. Gordon also informs him that killing those things is forbidden in the kingdom. But the old man, without any fear, informs him that those things attack him first, and he killed them. And his armor, shield are made of 7 thorns. And even though he killed them, he doesn't think that it's that big of a deal. After all, they attacked him first. People are shocked to hear that. that old man actually killed those things. And the new mayor was just saying something like that. Gordon praises the old man for killing those things, and he gives the old man a reward for killing those crocs. This shocked people even more because they can actually get rewards for killing those things. And Gordon wanted to earn the people's trust. The old man came in the right place at the right time, with his thorns armor and shield. Old man is confused to see that he is actually getting bounty for killing those things. And not only that, Gordon calls for another reward. Someone comes with a flower and something on a tray, and it's our beautiful Lady Lanliu. They reward and celebrate it like that old man won a gold medal in Olympics. And there is also another reward, a VIP card of Lady Lanliu's hotel. The first 50 will get 3 days to stay in the hotel, and after that, they will get 5.5% off when they buy other stuffs, and they can bring families and friends. Everyone gets ready to get that VIP card and kill those crocs for a gold. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, then watch this video here. Also like and subscribe for part 3. And stay tuned because next part is going to be a big kaboom.